Haberdasher or pronouns, a schoolmaster or usher. Hackney writer. Ah, we're on G. Was that the end of G? What the fuck? Hackney writer. Oh fuck, I should have stopped there. Fuck it. Hackney writer, one who writes for attorneys or booksellers. Okay, I'll read these again. Haberdasher or pronouns, a schoolmaster or usher. Hackney writer, one who writes for attorneys or booksellers. Hackham, Captain Hackham, a bravo, a slasher. Haddam, he has been a Haddam and came home from Clapham. Said of one who has caught the venereal disease. Hair splitter, a man's yard. Halbert, a weapon carried by a sergeant of foot. To get a halbert, to be appointed a sergeant. To be brought to the halberts, to be flogged, a la militaire. Soldiers of the infantry, when flogged, being commonly tied to 3 halberts, set up in a triangle, with a 4th fastened across them. He carries the halbert in his face, a saying of one promoted from a sergeant to a commission officer. Half a hog, 6pence. Half seas over, almost drunk. Hamlet, a high constable, cunt. Hams or ham cases, breeches. Hand, a sailor. We lost a hand, we lost a sailor. Bear a hand, make haste. Hand to fist, opposite. The same as tita tita te, tita a tit, to chica by a joel. Hand and pocket shop, an eating house where ready money is paid for what is called for. Hand basket, portion, a woman whose husband receives frequent presents from her father or family is said to have a hand basket portion. Handle, to know how to handle one's fists, to be skillful in the art of boxing. To cove flashes, a rare handle to his sog. The fellow has a large nose. Handsome. Here's a handsome-bodied man in a face, a jeering commendation of an ugly fellow. Handsome is that handsome does, a proverb frequently cited by ugly women. Handsome reward. This in advertisements means a horse-whipping. To hang an arse, to hang back, to hesitate. Hang gallows, look, a thievish or villainous appearance. Hang in chains, a vile, desperate fellow. Persons guilty of murder or other atrocious crimes are frequently after execution hanged on a gibbet, to which they are fastened by iron bandages. The gibbet is commonly placed on or near the place where the crime was committed. Hang it up, score it up. Speaking of a reckoning. Hang out, the traps, scabby where we hang out the officers, who know where we live. Hanger-on, a dependent, hangman's wages, the 13pence halfpenny, which according to the vulgar tradition was thus allotted. 1 shilling for the executioner and 3 halfpences for the rope. N.B. This refers to former times, the hangmen of the present day having, like other artificers, raised their prices. The true state of this matter is that a Scottish mark was the fee allowed for an execution, and the value of that piece was settled by a proclamation of James I at 13pence halfpenny. Hank. He has a hank on him, i.e. an ascendancy over him or a hold upon him. A Smithfield hank, an ox rendered furious by overdriving and barbarous treatment. See bull hank. Hanker, to hanker after anything, to have a longing after or for it. Hands in kelder, jack in the cellar, i.e. the child in the womb, a healthy, frequently drank or to breeding woman, or their husbands. Hard, stale beer, nearly sour, is said to be hard. Hard also means severe, as hard fate, a hard master. Hard at his arse, close after him. Hare, he has swallowed a hare, he is drunk, more probably a hare, which requires washing down. Harkying, whispering on one side to borrow money. Harmon, a constable, cunt. Harmon Beck, a beadle, cunt. Harmons, the stocks, cunt. Harp, to harp upon, to dwell upon, a subject having among you, my blind harpers, an expression used in throwing or shooting at random among the crowd. Harp is also the Irish expression for women, or tale used in tossing up in Ireland from Hibernia, being represented with a harp on the reverse of the copper coins of that country. For which it is in hoisting the copper, i.e. tossing up, sometimes likewise music. Harry Dan, a haggard old woman, a miserable, straggy, worn-out harlot, fit to take her board's degree derived from the French word hareldel, a worn-out jade of a horse or mare, Harry, a country fellow, cunt, old Harry the devil. Harum scarum, he was running harum scarum, said of anyone running or walking hastily in a hurry after they know not what. Hash, to flash the hash, to vomit, cunt. Hasty, precipitate, passionate, he is none of the Hastings sort, a saying of a slow loitering fellow, an allusion to the Hastings pea, which is the first in season. Hasty pudding, oatmeal and milk boiled to a moderate thickness and eaten with sugar and butter, figuratively a wet muddy road, as the way through Wandsworth is a quite hasty puddle. To eat hot hasty pudding for a laced hat, or some other prize, is a common feat at wakes and fairs. Hat, old hat, a woman's privities, because frequently felt. Hatches, under the hatches, in trouble, distress or debt. Hatchet face, a long thin face. Havil, a sheep cunt. Havey cavey, wavering doubtful shilly shally. Hawk, where hawk, the word to look sharp, a byword when a bailiff passes. Hawk also signifies a sharper in opposition to pigeon. See pigeon. See where hawk. Hawkers, licensed itinerant retailers of different commodities, also called peddlers. Likewise the sellers of newspapers, hawking, an effort to spit up the thick phlegm. Also oysters, hence it is wit upon record. To ask the person so doing whether he has a license, a punning allusion to the act of hawkers and peddlers. To hazel gild, to beat anyone with a hazel stick. Head cully of the pass or passage bank, the top tilter of that gang throughout the whole army, who demands and receives contribution from all the pass banks in the camp. Head rails, teeth, sea phrase, hearing cheats, ears, cunt, heart's ease, gin, hearty choke. He will have a hearty choke and caper, sauce for breakfast, i.e. he will be hanged. Heathen philosopher, one whose breech may be seen through his pocket hole. This saying arose from the old philosophers, many of whom despised the vanity of dress to such a point as often to fall into the opposite extreme. To heave, to rob, to heave a case, to rob a house, to heave a bow, to rob a booth. Cunt. Heaver, the breast, cunt. Heavers, thieves who make it their business to steal tradesmen's shop books. Cunt. Hector, bully, a swaggering coward. To Hector, to bully, probably from such persons affecting the valour of Hector, the Trojan hero. Hedge, to make a hedge, to secure a bet or wager laid on one side, we're taking the odds on the other, so that what will happen. A certain gain is secured or hedged in by the person who takes this precaution, who is then said to be on velvet. Hedge alehouse, a small obscure alehouse. Hedge creeper, a robber of hedges. Hedge priest, an illiterate, unbeneficed curate, a patrico. Hedge whore, an itinerant harlot who bilks the bagnius and bawdy houses by disposing of her favours on the wayside under a hedge or low beggarly prostitute. Heels, to he laid by the heels, to be confirmed or put in prison, out at heels, worn or diminished. His estate or affairs are out of heels. To turn up his heels, to turn up the knave of trumps at the game of all fours. Heel tap, a peg in the heel of a shoe. Taken out when it is finished, a person leaving any liquor in his glass is frequently called upon by the toastmaster to take off his heel tap. Hell, a tailor's repository for his stolen goods, called cabbage. See cabbage. Did I read that? Can't remember. Heel tap. I think I did. I don't know. Hell-born babe. A lewd, graceless youth. One naturally of a wicked disposition. Hellcat, a termagant, a vixen, a furious scolding woman. See termagant and vixen. Hellhound, a wicked abandoned fellow. Hellfire Dick, the Cambridge driver of the Telegraph, the favourite companions of the university, fashionables, and the only tutor to whose precepts they attempt. Helter-skelter to run helter-skelter, hand over head in defiance of order.